Now today I'm going to be reading the story of the snail and the whale. Now this story is also written by Julia Donaldson. I have got a lot of her books at my house, so that's why you've been hearing so many Julia Donaldson stories. Now I like this story because it's quite an adventure. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot. And this is a snail with an itchy foot. So have a look at the snail and have a think, do snails have feet or not? So snails, when it says foot, the snail's foot is the whole of its body that goes along that bit there. So it must be very itchy. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And she gazed and she sniffed and she sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. I think the snail wants to get out and see the world, see what adventures it can go on. These are the other snails in the flock who stuck tight to the smooth black rock and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." And this is the trail of the tiny snail, a slithery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." Wow, so the snail has made a trail with their foot on the big black rock. I wonder who's going to see it. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immersively long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. Wow, it sounds like the humpback whale has been on lots of adventures himself. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come and sail with me." So I think the snail has found a way to get a lift to go all the way around the world. Oh, let's see where they've gone now. Wow, this looks quite different from where the snail was living. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Oh, now they've gone here, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam around the whale and the snail on his tail. So they're underwater now. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lighting, flashing and frightening, the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. The snail must be holding on really tight. And she gazed at the sky, the sea and the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and she gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, I just feel so small. I suppose compared to the whale, the snail is very small, but compared to an ant, she would be big. But then came the day when the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. So the poor whale has got very confused with all the noises from the boats. He's not sure where he is and he's swum too close to the beach. This is the tide slipping away. What's happened to the whale? Goodness me. I think he might be stuck. The poor whale. He must be feeling very sad. He's not really able to move himself. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand! Go back to the sea, cried the snail. I can't move on land, I'm much too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she said, and she started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. So the snail's got an idea what she can do to help the whale get off the beach. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher, holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as can be. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, a snail! The teacher turns pale. She's thinking, why is there a snail on the whiteboard, on the blackboard? Look, said the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail. A slithery trail saying, save the whale. These are the children running from the school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. Can you see that they're spraying water on the whale? This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away. So off they go. And everyone's waving bye-bye. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown, and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled the snail after snail after snail. Oh my goodness, they're all crawling onto the humpback whale. Wow, look at them now. And they sang to the sea, and they all set sail on the tail of the great blue humpback whale. Wow, so that's nice. The humpback whale has taken all the snails to go with him on another adventure. Now, I want you to imagine that you are one of the snails on the whale's tail. Where would you like to go? Where would you like the whale to take you? You might want to go somewhere that you've never been before, or somewhere that you have been before, or maybe the whale could take you to an imaginary place. Maybe you'd like to draw a picture of where the whale would take you if you were the snail, and send the picture to me. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.